So today my audience is Mark, Nicole, Luke,
Hi.
and James. Today I will be talking about the negative impacts of social media on your life and how it affects your life. I'll start off by saying that in order to solve a problem, you must first diagnose what the problem is and understand why it is a problem. Social media is defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content and to interact with others and to find people with similar interests. This definition doesn't make social media sound that bad. Social media is not all that bad if used correctly. For those that use it correctly, it is a great way to communicate with friends and family and get information quickly. An important life lesson is that everything in moderation is okay. This statement highlights those that use social media incorrectly and let it consume every aspect of their life. Social media can be a drug to some people. Instant gratification, but very addictive. Studies have shown that 12% of the users of social media are addicted to it. If you take a simple number like 10,000 people and take 12% of that, you get 1,200. This being said, 1,200 of every 10,000 users are addicted to social media. If you consider the population of the world and take 12% of that, you have an epidemic of people addicted to social media. A big issue with social media is not social media itself, but the problem is that people have a fundamental need to belong and connect with other human beings. Social media creates a platform to connect with people 24/7. A common problem is FOMO, which is defined as fear of missing out, and is an anxiety that an exciting or interesting event may currently be happening elsewhere. It is a desire to constantly stay connected with what others are doing. This fear of missing out creates a number of mental health problems like anxiety, stress, insomnia, and depression. Social media makes people worry about unnecessary things, like what they post, what people will think of it, and how many likes are they going to get on what they post. This all causes anxiety and stress for those with social media addiction. Another common and big problem is the amount of unreliable information and the lack of privacy that social media creates. You don't know who sees what you post, and all your information is public to everyone. False and unreliable information is easily spread and involving numerous different topics, and once that information is out, it can never be fully erased or taken away. Along with the spread of false information, social media doesn't give users privacy, it only exposes the privacy more. This only adds to the problem of extra stress and anxiety in people's lives. The University of Pittsburgh conducted a study that resulted in the findings that social media use was directly correlated with increased amounts of depression and increased amounts of narcissistic personalities. In addition, it can also cause inattention and hyperactivity. The world we live in is not a nice one all the time. People feel bad about themselves and feel the need to put others down. Social media gives people this platform and leaves no room for people to take responsibility for their actions. People can hide under anonymous names and never be held responsible for what damage they cause other people's lives. A study was conducted on social media and how it facilitates cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is using electronic communication to bully another individual. Cyberbullying happens on all types of social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube. In this study, it states that middle school children who are victims of cyberbullying are almost twice as likely to attempt suicide. This is a sad fact of the world that we live in. Something like social media can cause such amounts of depression. Those addicted to social media spend less time interacting with people face to face, and they lose key important social skills. This promotes depression, and people don't know how to put their technology down. and they forget how to interact in real life, and they become secluded from others. Another topic that I'll be talking about is self-esteem and how social media affects their self-esteem. This negative feedback and communication between people not only causes depression, but a lack of self-esteem. We have the ability to constantly compare our lives to small shared portions of other people's lives. And I say small shared portions because you only see what people choose to share and not what their life actually is. This low self-esteem comparison creates a low personal image of themselves, and it harms them in many different negative ways. The next thing I will be talking about is academic performance. Social media affects all aspects of life, including a student's academic performance. It affects this performance in a few different ways. The first and most simple way is just in the distraction it causes while doing homework or studying. If you are addicted and have a fear of missing out, how are you ever going to be able to concentrate enough to finish that assignment or study for that test? The second way is social media and the internet in general makes people lazy. People no longer need to spend the time to find information in a book. They can find the answer online in a matter of seconds. The third way is that social media facilitates cheating. This brings it back to being lazy and students getting answers from other students and no longer needing to put the effort in to get a good grade. Another study was conducted that 31% of teens say that using social media during homework significantly reduced the quality of their work. Those same students who use social media had an average GPA of 3.06, while non-users had an average GPA of 3.82. Also, students who used it while studying scored 20% lower on tests. Another interesting study conducted regarding academic performance was that schools that introduced a cell phone ban saw a 6.41% on student performance, increase in student performance. And in conclusion, overall, if social media is used correctly and used in moderation, it can be a positive means of connecting and learning. When used incorrectly, though, it can have many negative impacts on the mental health, academic performance, and self-esteem of those that become addicted to it. Thank you for listening. And does anyone have any questions?
Did you notice in your research any differences between sexes or specific age groups?
There was a couple different studies done on that females are more impacted by social media addiction as opposed to males.
And does that include like depression or anxiety, things like that?
Self-esteem, self-image.
Do you think that social media should be regulated by the government?
I do not think that it should be regulated by the government. Any other questions? Thank you guys for listening.